All right, now we're gonna be watching the Cocaine Hippo by the Fat Electrician. So let's get into it.
So I did a video last week over on my main channel, Band of Beavers, when America airdropped beavers.
Oh, is this not his main channel?
And I was like, wow, that was a pretty funny video. I wonder if there's any other funny conservation stories. So I looked into
the Cocaine Hippo.
Yeah, yeah, there are. Today we're talking about Pablo Escobar's cocaine hippos that are currently messing up the ecosystem in Colombia, threatening the entire Amazon rainforest, and that Colombia also can't get rid of because some court in the United States granted cocaine hippos personhood, which is potentially groundbreaking legal precedent.
What? They're people? They count as people. Huh? Is it just like if it did cocaine, it's legally a person? Have I ever heard of cocaine bear? I've heard of cocaine bear. I'd be more scared of a cocaine hippo. If you're like, hey, which would you rather fight? A cocaine bear or a cocaine hippo? I will take the bear every time. Every time. Oh my God. Hippos are just so freaking deadly. Have you seen the skull of a hippo? It's a nightmare. It's nightmare fuel. No. No. I think I would have better chances with a cocaine bear than a cocaine hippo.
Yeah.
Nicholas, did you get a beer vending machine?
Maybe.
Why?
For the home gym downstairs.
Home gym?
What home gym?
CRALL
hang on.
Sponsored the video and gave us a home gym.
But we have a gym membership.
Well, first of all, I want to be able to lift weights the way the Lord intended.
Hey! God, now I'm just imagining his eggs and sausage just dangling.
Disgusting. You should wear clothes.
Home gym's already ruined. Anyways, CRALL Fitness, small business based out of Texas. They have a couple of employees. It's ran by a husband and a wife that were mad during the pandemic that they couldn't go to the gym and they couldn't really afford any nice gym equipment. So they decided to design and have their own made so that normal people can afford fancy home gyms and not have to worry about their gym being closed. The equipment's high quality. I don't know, it's heavy. I pick it up, I put it down. It hasn't broken yet.
It works. If it's heavy, it's working.
I'm gonna have a link and a discount code down below. Go check out CRALL Fitness. Let's get back to the video.
Fitting this dick in your
Pablo
mouth.
Escobar, he's the #1 drug kingpin of the 1980s, if not of all time. Under his reign, I guess you would call it, his cartel was responsible for about 80% of the cocaine globally, and they were making about $22 billion a year, of which Pablo Escobar was profiting $60 million a day to himself. Pablo Escobar was making so much money selling nose beer that he was actually listed as the 7th wealthiest man on the planet in Forbes for like a decade. And it's hard to comprehend.
Seventh? Like, the people on the list of, like, the wealthiest people in the world, it's not like, you know, Mark Zuckerberg and stuff like that. It's those oil tycoons over in Saudi Arabia and stuff like that. Those are the richest people. Are you... Huh? He was up into those levels? Oh my God. Like, it's like the Nigerian prince level of money at that point. What? I mean, I know cocaine is big, especially back then. Nobody else was taking any cut of the pie? Holy crap.
And how much money that actually is, but to give you an idea, according to Pablo Escobar's son, when he was a little kid, they were camping one night and they didn't have any firewood, so Pablo Escobar burnt $2 million in cash so that they could make some s'mores.
I haven't had anything.
Those are the most expensive s'mores ever made.
Me, Smalls.
Okay, this man was spending $2,500 a month on rubber bands to hold all of his $100 bills together. That's how much money this guy was personally making. This guy made so much money selling nose torque that he didn't even have anything to buy anymore, so he just started spending all of his money on whatever he could get his hands on. By the time he was done, he owned 141 houses, 142 planes, 20 helicopters, and 32 yachts.
Man, can you imagine? I would love for there to be a story where, like, a drug lord uses his money for good. He sells cocaine to those to addicts and stuff like that. But then he takes the money and he builds orphanages. He builds affordable housing. He's like an anti-hero type of thing. It's like, yeah, I take from the addicted and I give to the other poor people type of thing. It's like, oh yeah, I funded the reconstruction of roads and bridges and stuff like that. That would be an interesting character to have like a documentary made off of him. It's like where the cops try to go and get him and arrest him, but then like the community's like, no, you can't do it. Don't do it. He gives so much back to the community. We don't care if he sells a bunch of cocaine. Like, I love that. I love that. So Robin Hood, but with cocaine. Yeah, exactly. I want a Robin Hood, but with cocaine.
And at some point along this spending extravaganza, he's like, I guess I'm just going to start collecting rare, wild, exotic animals because there's literally nothing else I can spend my money on. He had a rhino, he had an elephant, he had a giraffe, he had a bunch of exotic birds, and one of the things that he smuggled in was 4 baby hippos, 1 male and 3 females. And as those hippos grew and matured, Pablo Escobar may or he may not have fed people to them based on their ethnic background, or at least that's what the Netflix TV shows led me to believe.
Hipopótamos esos. No, hipopótamos tampoco les gustan los mexicanos.
Either way, fast forward to 1993, Escobar's compound gets raided, it all gets turned over to the Colombian government, and they have to figure out what to do with this entire...
Okay, how much of the cocaine that they found do you think they kept for personal use? So, like, hypothetically, let's say they found, like, 500 tons of cocaine. I know that's, like, a ridiculous number, but let's just say that. And when they report it, they're like, yeah, we found 400 tons of cocaine. But I thought it was 500 tons. No. 400. That was a misreport. We miscounted. Yeah, definitely. Lots, none officially.
Zoo that this man has living in his private compound, and pretty much all of the animals get turned over to either zoos or sanctuaries. All of them except for the 4 hippos, and I can hear the comment section already. Buh! That doesn't make any sense because if you can transport an elephant, why can't you transport a hippo? Buh! Okay, look, I
Hippos
understand
are scarier.
your logic going into this. That's a big-ass animal. That's a big-ass animal. If you can move one, why can't you move the other? Simply put, it's because elephants and other large animals can be reasoned with. You know what I mean? You can roll up on an elephant and be like, hey, chief, proposal, how about I give you some peanuts and you get your big ass on the truck? And they're gonna be like, okay, I'll walk my big goofy ass ears up on the truck for you. You can't reason with a hippo, all right? Hippos are territorial assholes that will kill you for no other reason than the fact that you got a little bit too close.
They're terrifying.
To their liking. They are the deadliest animal on the planet, responsible for killing over 500 people per year. Buh! But I still think they're kind of cute. Buh. Okay,
They are.
First of all, no, it's not. Objectively speaking.
No, they you know what? I will disagree with him on this part. Hippos are very cute when they don't have their mouth open. Like, if you just see them and they pop out and their ears do a little thing, you know, that they pop out and they do that little wiggle thing. They are a little, they're a little cute. But then you see this, and they've got like beaver teeth times 12. No, thank you. Stay away. They look chubby, but that's all killer muscle. I do not want to mess with that.
It looks like Voldemort fucked a grizzly bear, okay? Secondly, there's nothing cute about this animal. It's absolutely horrifying, okay? You're like, oh, it's chubby and it's cute. No, it's not chubby, okay? It is almost 4,000 pounds of straight muscle and bone. Hippos are so dense, they can't float, okay?
Yeah, they walk on the water.
Right now? Hippos can't swim. Most people...
God, that is terrifying.
They can't float, okay? Are you picking up what I'm putting down right now? Hippos...
That is terrifying. What the heck? That is... Oh, I don't like that. It's like Moto, but he's the serial killer in the new Madagascar movie.
Can't swim. Most people are probably hearing this for the first time. No, they sink to the bottom of the river, and then they run along the bottom of the river, and then when they get out of breath, they jump up, get a breath, and sink back down again. Okay, and just so we're on the same page, 4,000 pounds is bigger than most cars. Like a Toyota Corolla is like 3,000 pounds. This is literally a semi-aquatic muscle tank that's got 12 to 18-inch stalactites for teeth that maxes out at 19 miles an hour on foot, okay? It's absolutely horrifying. This animal is so unstoppable. It has no natural predators. You can make an argument that when they're a baby hippo, they might get eaten up by alligators or lions, and that does happen once in a while. But even then, there's accounts of alligators letting baby hippos chew on them like chew toys when they're teething, because the alligators know at this point that if they hurt the baby hippos, all the full-grown hippos are gonna
sit on them.
Once hippos reach maturity, they're
go back.
Baby hippos, all the
the other hippos just watching like, you better not mess with my baby. You better let my baby sit on you. You better let him sit on you. Okay, but isn't it also true that male hippos, when like the alpha male hippos or whatever, they will sometimes kill baby hippos that are not theirs? Like, isn't that a thing? Like, well, I did say they were cute with their mouth closed, but that one looked terrifying. The one that I saw was terrifying.
Are going to dismantle them. Once hippos reach maturity, there's absolutely nothing that can kill them. Okay, you can get on the internet and find videos of a pride of lions attacking a single full-grown hippo.
He's going to be that one
like
clip.
Lions on the hippo's back biting it, and the hippo's just walking towards the river completely unfazed because it's not even hurting him. The only thing that kind of regulates the hippo population in Africa is the dry season, because once the rivers and the ponds dry up, the hippos can't survive. Okay, do you understand what I've just told you? This animal is so fucking gangster. The only known predator it has is the dry season. Literally, the only thing capable of taking it out is Mother Nature with a natural phenomenon. Sorry, we're unhinged at this point, but my point is, you're not getting the hippos on the truck to move them if they don't want to be moved, and hippos don't want to be moved. They want to be left alone to do hippo things, and that's what's going to happen. So all these Colombian Special Forces guys that broke in and raided Escobar's compound are like, I guess we're leaving the hippos here. And then over the course of the next couple years, either somebody just let the hippos out, or the hippos broke out into a nearby river system.
It probably broke out
there ever since. Okay, now fast forward 30 years from 1993 to 2003, they know of 170 of these hippos, and there could be more out there. So the hippo population in Colombia is growing exponentially, and it's estimated to reach 1,000 hippos by 2030 if we don't do something about it. And this is an environmental disaster, not just because the hippos are dangerous to people, but because the hippos poop in the body of water that they reside in.
I did not need a video of that.
It's so toxic that it creates this algae, and these large cultures of algae start floating around the top of the water, and this algae actually eats all the oxygen out of the water.
And then it suffocates the fish and everything. Yeah.
Which kills off all the fish, and not having fish kills off all the birds, and it's fucking up the entire ecosystem in Colombia. And there's nothing to stop it or even kind of slow it down because there's no dry season in Colombia, which means that pretty much every hippo born in Colombia is living out its entire lifespan of roughly 50 years, and every female hippo gives birth to roughly 7 other hippos, and their population is going to continue to grow exponentially until some of them are forced to move into other areas of water. And if those hippos make their way into the Amazon rainforest, we're all fucked, because the Amazon rainforest is one of, if not the biggest ecosystems on Earth that helps stabilize the climate of the entire planet, because it stores 200 billion tons of carbon. And if we mess up that ecosystem, it could have planetary-wide implications, and who knows what's.
And we're already fucking it up, so we don't need another thing but fucking it just to cause even more issues in there. So I guess the question is obviously, why don't we just kill the hippos? Okay, that sounds bad. But I mean, desperate times call for desperate measures. But it sounds like he said that they've given them personhood. I mean, you know, at least in some parts of America, the death penalty is still, you know, legal. And if they're a person, you know, I think disrupting the ecosystem on this grand a scale would be considered, I don't know, like a crime against humanity or something like that. So, you know, and boom, charge them with the death penalty. There we go. Charge them with the death penalty. Boom. You hold a mock trial. They don't show up for the court case. Then you hit the gavel and it's like, nope, death penalty. They weren't here to defend themselves. Death penalty. Death by, I don't know, chopper gunner. I don't know.
What's gonna happen? So clearly, we gotta get rid of these hippos, right? We're gonna have to cull and kill off all the hippos. It's the only option. It's not fair. It sucks for the hippos, but that's just what has to happen, right? Apparently wrong. In 2009, one of the hippos was being extremely aggressive towards fishermen, and the army stepped in to kill this hippo before it started killing fishermen that were trying to feed their families. And they posted a picture of this dead hippo that they had just killed, Pepe, on the internet.
Pepe? The meme frog? See, there's 2 mistakes they made right here. 1, they posted a video of them killing an animal. People on the internet don't like that. And 2, they named the animal. So instead of, oh, we shot a hippo, it's we shot Pepe the Hippo. You done fucked up. Okay, you don't name the animal, because as soon as you name the animal, you've gotten attached. And now the internet has a name for it instead of, you know, the hippo. Like, you know, when that dentist shot the lion, no one said, dude, that dentist shot a lion. Everyone went, that dentist shot Cecil. Or Harambe. Nobody was like, dude, I'm so upset that they shot the gorilla. They were all upset. It's like, they killed Harambe. It's a name that causes you to be upset, so you shouldn't have named it. Shouldn't have named it. I think it's the same way as when someone attacks a police dog, then you are charged for attacking an officer, whereas in other legal contexts, pets are considered property. Oh, thank you, Joseph. Thank you, thank you, thank you for the $1.
And the planet had a fucking meltdown because the Colombian government was killing hippos. Now, obviously, when I say the entire planet, I'm being hyperbolic, and what I actually mean is a bunch of self-righteous, entitled pricks.
Well, let me also say that dentist who shot Cecil the lion, fuck that guy. Don't poachers, like what the hell? Why? Don't poach animals in Africa most of the time. Okay, like I think there are some legal ones of shooting like gazelles or any of those type of game animals, especially if it's run by the government for conservation reasons. Then yeah, but don't go shooting lions, elephants, rhinos, stuff like what? Why? No, many of them are endangered, and you can easily disrupt the ecosystem. So I'm not defending that guy. Fuck the dentist. But yeah.
I mean, animal rights activists from first world countries that don't actually know or understand anything about the environment or conservation as a whole, but they do know that it feels good to save animals in between sips of their Starbucks Frappuccino by bitching at people on Twitter. So, because a bunch of people whose opinions shouldn't even matter in the first place are going to be upset if Colombia kills these hippos, for the past 15 years, they've been trying to find a different alternative besides killing them in order to get rid of all these hippos. First thing they did, they tried to capture some, put them to sleep, and then neuter them.
This is Bob Barker. Have your pet spayed or neutered.
I'll just die already.
It didn't go that great. Like I said, it's 4,000 pounds of muscle. And if you didn't know, male hippos have internal genitalia, meaning that it's really hard to tell male from female. And it's also very hard to...
Oh my God, it's just like the salmon. I'm having that salmonella video in my head. Oh no.
Neuter them because you have to cut through 4,000 pounds of muscle to get to any of the genitalia in the first place. And then the hippos didn't have great outcomes as far as surviving the surgery and being released back into the wild. So next thing we could try, we could tranquilize the hippos, and then while they're asleep, we could transport them to a zoo or a sanctuary of some kind, right? That's a halfway decent idea if you don't think about it. I mean, what happens when you tranquilize a hippo? Well, where are the hippos? First of all, they're in the water. What happens when you tranquilize something?
They go underwater.
Falls asleep. What happens if a hippo falls asleep in water? It sinks because they don't float, and then they fucking drown, and you can't get a 4,000 pound animal out of a river in time. So after like 10 years of trying alternative methods, 2020 rolls around, and the Colombian government's just like, I mean, there's nothing else we can do. We're just gonna have to cull and kill all these hippos. It's literally the only option without having planetary-wide implications. So naturally, a bunch of animal rights activist groups got together in the US and they sued the Colombian government because they were gonna...
Okay, why does it even matter what people in the US think of what is happening over in Colombia? I don't understand, because I get it. The U.S. is a big country. We have a lot of sway. So I guess, you know, that's the unfortunate outcome with that, is that because we're so big, we can have just ramifications on the global scale if we want to. But I mean, like, if the reverse happened, okay, let's pretend that that we had the hippos and we decided to kill them. I don't think we would care if the if Colombia decided to be upset about. I already forgot the country we were talking about. I think it was Colombia. But if Colombia started to be upset about, I don't think we'd listen to them. So just don't listen to the stupid armchair experts about conservation over in the U.S. Don't listen to them, foreign government. Just you're gonna have to kill the hippos. That's what you got to do. That's what you got to do. I'm sorry.
Kill the hippos.
But Saul, how can I sue these people and institutions? I have no grounds. Do me a favor. Let me answer that question in person. Better call Saul.
During this court case, because the hippos have never set foot in the United States of America, they literally have nothing to do with the United States in any way whatsoever, and the United States legal system has no jurisdiction over it at all.
Also, if it gets to the rainforest, that's going to affect the U.S. and everybody on the globe, so I feel like we should let them do it. Unfortunately, most Americans see Colombia as a third world nation that could, in their opinion, should cease to exist. That's awful. Like, they're a foreign nation that has their own like system and their own things that they should be working on, and they should be able to work on it in the way that they see fit.
The federal judge in this court,
as long as they're not breaking international law, as long as they're not like doing crimes against humanity, like, you know, Okay.
Case had to declare the hippos interested persons so that they could even hear the court case in the first place. But by doing that, this judge inadvertently basically admitted that hippos have personhood, which means that they have human rights. And with the way the US court works, once one court decides something, it sets a precedent, and all the future court cases get to refer back to it all the time, which means hippos, and potentially by extension the entire animal kingdom, could now have human rights.
Anyone can be anything.
No.
And let's be honest,
disagree.
if you've made it this far into one of my YouTube videos, I know exactly where your brain just went. You're like, holy shit, this means the hippos have the Second Amendment, and the only thing scarier than a hippo is a hippo with an AR-15.
You don't need an AR-15. Buy a shotgun.
Yes, Joe Biden.
Wait, what?
AR-15.
You don't need an AR-15. Buy a shotgun.
When did he? I like to think that this isn't him like trying to like convince people that AR-15s are bad, or like, oh, it's a deadly weapon that causes mass shootings or anything. I like to think that this is just Joe Biden giving his personal take on guns, of like, nah, dude, the AR-15, that sucks. Dude, my personal favorite, double barrel shotgun. You can't go wrong with that. That's what I'm thinking he's doing. He's like, nah, dude, okay, like magazine pistols or revolvers all the way, bro. He's just giving you his opinions on guns. I love it. You could have used something different, Nick. Come on, man. You got to take from Madagascar. He's already used a Madagascar reference.
Yes, Joe Biden, or hippos with shotguns. I don't care. Hippos with guns are terrifying. Now, obviously, that's ridiculous and silly, and we're just joking around. However, what you should actually be concerned about is the potential that next time you accidentally, like, hit a deer with your car, now your friendly neighborhood tree hugger environmentalist can take you to court and try to have charges pressed against you for vehicular manslaughter because you didn't just accidentally hit a deer, you killed a person with your car. Because now animals aren't animals, they're people, and people have human rights, and it completely upends our entire understanding of how the law functions today. Thankfully, this is probably not going to end up happening. I read through a bunch of like actual lawyers and legal scholars analyzing this, and their conclusion is that it's kind of a bullshit technicality and it shouldn't ever set a precedent.
Yeah.
However, shouldn't still implies that it kind of sort of might one day, which is horrifying. But US law and precedent aside, it's affecting the Colombian cocaine hippo situation because it's putting a ton of political pressure on the Colombian government. Now, in order to fully appreciate what is going on here, you really got to put yourself in the Colombian politicians' shoes, right? On one hand, you've got an environmental disaster with potentially planet-altering implications that's being instigated by cocaine hippos from Pablo Escobar. And on the other hand, the United States, the country whose military budget is literally twice the size of your nation's GDP, just came out of left field and they were like, oh, hey, by the way, the hippos in your country, no other hippos and no other animal in the planet ever, for that matter, has ever been considered a human. But the cocaine hippos in your country, we consider them to be people now. And the Colombian government is like, what the fuck does that even mean? Like, if we cull these hippos to save the world, are you guys going to consider that a genocide? Or like, what's going to happen? You're going to put an embargo, quit doing business with?
I can't believe I'm about to say this, but if this is considered a genocide, this is the one moment that I will say they should commit a genocide. This genocide is okay. I can't believe I'd ever say that, but if they consider them people, go for it. Okay? This is the one. It's an unfortunate situation, but yeah.
With us, wreck our entire economy over some hippos. What? And that's pretty much where we're at today. Nobody really knows what's going on. The Colombian government.
This video's only got a few more minutes
because everybody's too busy arguing about the moral and ethical dilemma of killing off hippos/people, while the hippos are in the background pooping all over the rivers and the ponds, killing off all the fish and the birds, destroying the ecosystems of Colombia and potentially by extension in the future the entire Amazon rainforest. And nobody's doing anything about it. I feel like I'm in an episode of Black Mirror. You know what I mean? Because maybe I'm simple, maybe I'm stupid, maybe I'm just a horrible person and I don't see the value in all animals' lives in relation to saving the entire planet. However, I feel like the options are pretty simple. A, save the environment. B, give a fuck about the feelings of people that don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah, fuck your feelings.
Feel better if hippos don't die, even though they wouldn't know about it if they did. And somehow, the feelings of random people is winning while the clock is ticking down to an environmental catastrophe. Like, the entire thing has made me lose so much faith in humanity, it's unbelievable, because I'm now absolutely certain that aliens could crash land on Earth, like aliens, like from the movie
there would be people
Alien,
trying to protect it.
Not intelligent life forms, their sole purpose is to run around and kill anything that's alive. Those things could crash land and start murdering everything. And I guarantee you there would be activist groups that were protesting to make it illegal to fight back against these aliens.
Oh, there would
definitely have a right.
But that's the entire Alien franchise. The entire Alien franchise is a company being like, nah, fuck the interest of people on Earth. We need to keep these aliens alive so we can use them for militaristic purposes. Like, that's the entire plot. It's the entire plot of that series.
To live too.
I do not call them aliens because alien is a derogatory term for anything.
Oh, that's so true.
Even extraterrestrials.
What the
That's where people are.
Is that Demi Lovato?
Anything.
Oh, that's
Oh my god, it is Demi Lovato.
so true.
Even extraterrestrials.
Why? Fuck the aliens, okay? Dude, if aliens come to our world, they are probably here to kill us. Okay? If an alien comes down here, why did they did not travel light years, bending possibly space and time to get here just to say, hey. Okay? They came here because they might have needed another planet to exist on, so they got to get rid of us. No. No. Okay? If an alien out in space is thinking, hey, let's have a peaceful existence with the humans of Earth, guess what they could have done? Not come here. We already have peace. Okay? We're not fighting each other. Don't come here. If you come here, history, at least on Earth, has shown that when two different worlds collide, one of them doesn't do too well compared to the other one, looking at literally every time different civilizations have made first contact with each other. Just saying. Okay? It doesn't end well. Doesn't end well.
That's where people are at, and it's the dumbest thing.
The xenomorph real problem would be
Now, my
people trying to
personal
sleep
opinion,
with
and
them,
this
but
is gonna show you how
xenomorphs are not
horrible of a
sexy.
person I am. I don't think the Colombian government should kill off all these hippos. I really don't, because that would cost the Colombian taxpayers money, and that's dumb. The Colombian government should issue tags and let a bunch of foreign, rich, wealthy hunters come in and kill hippos for $100,000 a piece. They'll pay money to fix the problem for you.
That's a good
and then you can
idea.
take all the millions of dollars that would net Colombia and put it back into preserving and helping the environment, which has been damaged by these hippos. But we're never ever going to do that because that would make sense, and making sense usually
I like that
hurts people's
idea.
feelings. So I guess this is just where we're at. I'm sorry, this video got way more angry and unhinged than I ever thought it would. So I guess in conclusion, this is a story about how Pablo Escobar, the drug kingpin, smuggled in 4 baby hippos into Colombia, and now generations later, all of the hippos are somehow considered people.
Wait,
and they're going
4?
to destroy the Amazon rainforest.
Wait, isn't that like
Nobody's gonna do
incest?
anything about it because a bunch of self-righteous know-nothings think they're helping. Thanks for watching. Best way to support the video is go buy some merch over at thefatelectrician.com. Quack bang out.
Okay, let's see if there's a blooper at the end.
Fucking beer.
The other videos are not showing. Oh.
99, 1,000.
Oh my god.
We couldn't lift naked anymore.
It's so much better this way.
I mean, I'd agree. I'd agree. Very nice. Well, thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for watching. I like his idea. I heard someone said that it's a bad idea because then they have a reason not to kill off the hippos. I feel like they could do it. I would hope they'd be able to kill them all off at that point. But I like that idea that he came up with. That's an interesting thinking out of the box entrepreneurial idea right there. But thank y'all for watching in the future over on YouTube. And if you a link is down in the description for this video and others on his channel. And if you are interested, maybe come by the live stream or join the Discord. I'm on YouTube and Twitch. But until next time, hope you all have a wonderful rest of the day and stay awesome, y'all.